Do you know how good? I think about this all the time. The idea that, like NBA, so like basketball, you don't have a lot of equipment. You don't have bats or hockey sticks. You don't need an ice rink. So soccer and basketball, the barrier to entry is pretty low. You can literally put a basket on a farm, on a barn, and shoot a basketball. I was in small town America. I literally had a basketball hoop. And so the barrier to entry to skiing is expensive, or golf expensive. But soccer and basketball, does everybody understand how great you have to be to make the NBA? I don't care if you're the last guy off the bench. There's 360 Division I basketball programs. What about 20 guys a year from that? No. In basketball, the barrier to entry, you can be rich, you can be poor, you can be international. Some of these sports are...
People do not, in fact, understand at all. At all.
So when I criticize Mitch Trubisky, if Mitch Trubisky walked into our studio, big, thick, athletic, good-looking guy...
Yeah, he's being compared to his peers, not to us.
Like Trubisky, if you went out in the parking lot here and he threw the football, we'd be like, amazing.
Yeah, he'd probably break your windshield if he threw it out.
Right, so it's
but that's not what we're comparing. We're not comparing what I'm going to do as a quarterback or what you're going to do as a quarterback.
The question...
what other quarterbacks do.
I mean, the question with Tua is not... Can he play in the NFL? He went 6-3 last year. The question is, in the AFC now, where you've got Baker, Josh Allen, Lamar, Justin Herbert, Mahomes, can you beat that? That's not that he can't play. Like Tebow couldn't play. Tua can play. That's not the issue.
Yeah, it wasn't the best weekend for Tebow. So the Clippers have reportedly acquired veteran guard Eric Bledsoe from the Grizzlies. They will send Patrick Beverley, Rajon Rondo, and Daniel Otoru to Memphis in the deal. This will be Bledsoe's second stint with the Clippers. He was drafted by the team in 2010 and spent his first 3 seasons in L.A. This is mostly a money move. It saves the Clippers $30 million in luxury tax, and it creates $8.3 million traded player exemption that they will have a year to use, so it gives them some flexibility money-wise. Bledsoe's going into his 12th NBA season. He averaged 12.2 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 3.8 assists per game last season with the Pelicans. He was traded to the Grizzlies before the draft in July. So I think this is a good move overall, money-wise, for the Clippers, and you also get a good player in Eric Bledsoe. People were kind of freaking out, like, oh, it's too much for Eric Bledsoe. Like, they cleared up a lot of money with this. Well, also, the way Patrick Beverley's season ended with the Clippers.
That's something. The way he pushed Chris Paul, the Clippers organization has had a history of being not the classiest. They now feel like a classier organization, and that was kind of really a bottom move by...
Yeah, that was not... It kind of felt like that was the end of the road.
Yeah, we said it when it happened. We're like... This is not playing well in the Clippers front office. Chris Paul was like everybody had put their arms around Cliff.
It was such a cheap shot, and thankfully he didn't get hurt. But if he had, what a devastating situation that would have been for him to do that. So again, this is mostly a money move, but it also probably didn't help that's how his season ended.
Symbolic. Yeah, we're not going to deal with that.
So, the Saints. I love me some New Orleans, but I don't know what's going on with the Saints this season. I do not feel good about it.
I'm selling my stock. By the way, next Monday, I think I'm making my first... I get 2 amendments. One of my amendments is I'm taking some wins from the Saints, and I'm adding them to Carolina. Boom!
Well, Taysom got the start. Jameis also got some time in the Saints preseason opener. Neither had a great performance in the 17-14 loss to the Ravens. Wins, losses in the preseason, nobody cares. It doesn't mean anything. Obviously, they're not game planning, and it's not the goal to win or lose these games. But neither one of them was particularly impressive. And Sean Payton wouldn't comment on if either player took a step forward in the quarterback competition.
I'm not making any comparisons with the quarterbacks right now. It doesn't matter who really, with 6 turnovers, right? It's just... going to be overshadowed, though, with those early mistakes. And, despite how you play in the kicking game or defensively or even in snaps offensively, if that's what happens, it kind of just overshadows all of it,
They had 6 total turnovers in the game. Ian Book also threw an interception, and all 3 running backs lost a fumble. Jameis Winston, 7 of 12, 96 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 77.1 passer rating.
Well, once you take Michael Thomas out of that offense, there is no vertical threat.
No, I mean, it's a big deal that he's not out there, but I mean, they just did not. I don't want to overreact to it, but you'd like to see at least someone in this quarterback competition look like they had a significant edge in it. Now, I still think Jameis will end up being the starter, but that's got to be a little discouraging. Look, you're replacing Drew Brees, okay, and you don't have Michael Thomas out there for the beginning of the season, so you're already up against it. It's going to be bumpy, but you'd like to see some kind of stability going into at least the preseason opener. I don't know. I don't feel good about it. I don't think your amendment is wrong. I'm not feeling good about the Saints after that performance. So Tim Tebow made his debut as a tight end with Jacksonville this weekend. Probably didn't go as well as he had hoped it would. He was only targeted once by his teammate Tavon Austin and jumped in front of him and got the catch. And he also went viral for his poor blocking attempts in the 23-13 loss. A little, that was his target there. It was not a great day for Tim Tebow.
Well, first of all, you had 3 different pieces of video. Here's another one. He's not a blocker. He puts his head down. He's a quarterback who was out of the sport for 8 years. He's not a blocker. When it first happened, my first criticism, you were here, Joy, I said, so you're going to ask a quarterback to put his finger down and block a rush end? Like, there's no way in the world. It's so disrespectful to the sport to think Tim Tebow could block because he goes to the weight room and gets buffed. Watch his blocking style. He's never done it his whole life. So, hey, go to camp and become a great blocker. He's not athletic enough to be a vertical threat. He's not going to be a pass-catching tight end. At most, he would be a good team guy and a blocking tight end. You tell me how many punters and kickers and quarterbacks in your lifetime in the NFL have left the sport for 8 years,